Welcome to this ninth International Congress Scheme on the Move. I know Professor Aldo Morena and his team members. They came from abroad. It's a very long distance, but they have their own that we have to go and we have to do something in Tigray. That's why they are here. So we will have for 3-day congress. So as you can just set the schedule. So today we'll have the presentation, and then tomorrow is a visit to IDP, and then to Tigray Health Research Institute, and then to Tigray Health Bureau, and then on Friday we'll have also the presentation. So again, welcome. Thank you for the organizers with ISMAS, Tigray Regional Health Bureau, and then International Medical University in Rome, and Tigray Health Research Institute.
So welcome to this event. His Excellency Dr. Amanil Haile, Head of Tigray Regional Health Bureau. Here, His Excellency Professor Aldo More, so coordinator of this team in the external body. His Excellency Dr. Gabriel Barnabas, the coordinator for this event. His Excellency Mr. Sagai Hadbu, Deputy Director General of Tigray Health Research Institute, THRI management staffs, and all esteemed guests. I would like to say welcome to the 9th International Conference entitled with Skin on the Move. So as you may, the main focus of this international congress is dermatological and tropical diseases, but this event is very special. We have extended its limit to all health systems, especially during and post-war situations of Tigray health system. So in this, in the next 3 days, you will be with us for the next 3 days, and in the next 3 days, there will be more than 25 research articles which will be presented in this stage. So every presenter will have 10 minutes. As there are many articles, we will be very, very serious with time management. So I pledge to manage your time strictly. The other thing I would like to say is just giving thanks. We were preparing this event for the last 5 or 6 months, especially the ISMAS, the International Medical University in Rome, Tigray Regional Health Bureau, and in general the Italian Embassy have helped us a lot. Without those institutions, this event could have been in difficulties. Individually, Professor Aldo, he will speak some words later, have done everything to coordinate, to organize this event, including this financial fund and all other issues. So Professor Aldo have special linkage with Tigray. You may remember the Mario Mayani Hospital in Shiraro that was built by his team, and his commitment to Tigray, especially in Adigrat Hospital, the maternity and child care hospital. The engagement was very high. And lastly, in our institute, Tigray Health Research Institute. So they have built in Tigray Health Research Institute like G+1 building. So the current office of Tigray Health Research Institute in Magale was built initially by Professor Aldo and his team. The other is Dr. Gabriel Barnabas. So though he is our associate staff, he played a very great role in linking THRI with this Italian team. So I would like to thank those individuals. Finally, I have great appreciation for all those the teams who were preparing day and night for this event. I hope we will have a good, nice international conference, which is entitled Skin on the Move. I wish all of you to have a pleasant stay here in Makala. Teacher, I will do everything to make your time here very pleasant. So thank you. Now it's the time to invite Dr. Amanil to give us a keynote speech. Thank you.
It's very good to see two old friends, Professor Aldo Moroni and Dr. Gabra Barnabas, resuming their connection that began a few decades ago, and meeting here to pass on their wisdom to us, their younger brothers. So I welcome both of them, and also our beloved partners who used to come to Tigray and contribute a lot to scientific advancement in Tigray. Very pleased to see you again here in Mekelle. I also would like to thank all participants from different institutions in Tigray, and I've also seen somebody from outside Tigray participating here. So welcome all of you. As I speak here, especially to those of you who have come from outside Tigray, this is really a special moment because we've passed through a lot in the last few years. I'm sure you have heard about it. We had a very terrible war, and also untold atrocities were committed here in our region. We've lost hundreds of thousands of them, if not more than that. And we've had millions of people displaced. We had gruesome conflict-related gender-based violence, and we've had starvation outbreaks, and thousands of war wounded here in Tigray. So those issues are now established facts. Nobody is questioning whether those things actually happened in Tigray or not. We will definitely bring those issues to justice one day, but I believe those of us who are alive should need to move forward and start rebuilding Tigray. As I speak right now, we have more than 1 million IDPs in Tigray, spread all across the region, starting from the southern part of Tigray all the way to the northwestern part. We have thousands of war wounded getting treatment, but a lot more waiting for treatment, and hundreds of thousands of women and girls who are victims of conflict-related gender-based violence, waiting to be taken care of. A huge need for mental health and psychosocial support, and we also have a critical state of malnutrition. A very recent survey that we carried out in some of the Waradas districts in Tigray showed that the state of acute malnutrition is really alarming. Like figures in the 90s, 92% of women in one district who are pregnant and breastfeeding were acutely malnourished. So those figures are really becoming common. And we have some outbreaks that we are struggling with. And we also have a health system that has sustained a huge damage. And we're trying our level best to build our system back to where it was. I know it's a very difficult task, and it may push us to the brink of hopelessness, but we cannot lose hope. And we are confident that together with partners and friends like you, we will be able to rebuild. Today's International Congress, I believe, is one of such things that we'd like to have, because it shows that we have the desire to walk past our wounds. Led by Professor Aldo Moroni and his friends, we had several of those congresses in the past, before the war, and it attracted participants from both within Ethiopia and from outside Ethiopia. So I'm very glad that we have all decided to resume our past partnerships and take them on from where we left them off. Such events will not only allow scientific discussions to take place, but they also contribute their fair share to the healing process of our researchers, academicians, healthcare workers, and our people as a whole, who might catch a glimpse of what's happening in this hall on social media, on the mainstream media. And it just sends good news to our people that we're trying to come back to what we used to do before the war. I thank Professor Aldo Moroni and all the staff from Italy and other places, all friends, for deciding to come to Tigray. I know it requires a courageous decision. It's not easy. Most embassies have travel restrictions and warnings at this time to travel to Ethiopia and also some parts of the country. So I'm sure you've seen those warnings, but again decided to come here. Before I finish, I would like to remind all participants that I also saw on a video that you were playing. Professor Aldo Moroni and his friends were behind the construction and equipping of Miami Hospital in Shararo. Yes, it's one of the hospitals that have seen huge damage by the conflict. But Professor Aldo Moroni, when he was here with Carmen a few months ago, he showed really dedication and courage to travel all the way to Shararo and see for himself what has happened. So I'm sure we will rebuilding that hospital will be among one of the projects that we will be doing. I would also like to use this opportunity to remind you that we're having a huge outbreak of cutaneous-leishmaniasis in Tigray because of the massive displacement that we have had. I know it does not kill people, but it does to some extent. It's disfiguring a lot of our young girls and women, some of them even contemplating of committing suicide because of the severe disfigurement that it's having and a severe stigma that's attached to it. So I will be interested to talk to you about what can be done about this disease that does not kill but really disfigures people and cripples them psychologically. I can go on and say a lot, but I have to stop at some point. And I once again would like to reassure you all that Tigray is now ready to carry out research, teach, and also collaborate with all our old friends and even establish new ones. So feel free to keep on coming back over and over again and rebuild Tigray together. I would like to thank Tigray Health Research Institute as well for working hard to make this event a reality. So I wish our Congress would be a success, and thank you once again for coming. Thank you so much.
Professor Aldo wrote with his colleagues this book. It's Dermatology in Pictures, and it is in English, in Amharic, as well as in Tigrinya. This is one of his legacies. You can have a look at it later on during the presentation. I failed to introduce the book a bit earlier. Please, Professor. Thank you very much again. My brother.
we found that 162 obstetric suspected women for obstetric fistula and 523 for pelvic organ prolapse. And as a result of this, we try to include a campaign of for screening for obstetric fistula and pelvic organ prolapse during the campaign of COVID-19 and HPV. And as a result, we found that 1,100 for obstetric fistula and nearly 8,000 for pelvic organ prolapse. So far, we have nearly 10,000 pelvic organ prolapse and obstetric fistula.
Every night, we will kill you. Go out of this area, as if it's not your country. Third, if any of us try to speak in Tigrinya, they will say, you can't speak Tigrinya. This is the language of the birds. This is not for humans. And then lastly, they kept telling us, these are the victims talking, they kept telling us that Tigrayans deserve to be starved, and starved today. Continue. These are some of the sites. Continue. This is another massacre in a place called Mariam Shawito near Adwa. The victims, these are dead people. They just slaughter them like goats. Go ahead. This is Secretary Blinken testifying that ethnic cleansing has been committed in Tigray, Western Tigray. Ethnic cleansing, which is almost admitting that genocide has been committed. But the Ethiopian government doesn't accept it. So we are crying a loud cry for the world to hear, to listen to us, that we get justice, that our people deserve justice.
This Congress is very important because is one of the most important steps to try to rebuild a very good health system in Tigray to offer to the people health and dignity after the war, the terrible war. The war destroyed many hospitals, the war destroyed many schools. It is terrible. So we have to start from the school, to start from the health system in different ways, and also in new hospital, but we need also to pay the people working and also to call many other doctors all over the world to come here, not to teach, but to learn what we can do all together. Health is very important, but dignity is more important than health. I discussed with the Italian ambassador 2 days ago in Addis Ababa about the project to help health system in Tigray. He told me that we would like to give financial support and the professional support because all together we can improve the clinical activity, the scientific activity, starting from the Tigray Health Bureau, starting the Idar Hospital, but also other hospitals like Mayani Hospital, as I know very well, but also in Tigray we built the maternal child department, but also the scientific research starting with the activity of the Tigray Health Research Center that I remember very well because we built many years ago in Addis Ababa. we need to realize investigation activity from the United Nations because it's important that never could repeat what happened in Tigray. Not only here, as you know, we have a lot of wars in Ukraine, in Gaza, in Sudan, in Yemen, in Syria. So we have to launch an appeal from this Congress to the very important nations to stop the war everywhere.
This conference is a continuation of conferences or congresses that were carried out in Tigray before the war. During the war, we couldn't carry it. So after the war, this is the first one. It's called the 9th Congress, okay? It is on skin diseases. And the guests are specialists on dermatology, which is skin problems. But because of our current special situation, we want to give war-related health issues. The health system has been damaged totally. The education system has been damaged totally. And more importantly, justice has not been served. So my article, for instance, says cri de coeur. Cri de coeur means a very loud cry, painful cry for justice. And it narrates all the massacres that were carried out in Tigray, in Mariam Zion, Aksum, in Mai Kadra, in Mariam Dinglat, Mahbara Dego, all those, Mariam Shawito, Ndaba Garima, Takaza Bridge, Dadabit, everywhere, Bagale, even in Afar. 150 massacres on record. There are 150 massacres on record. And we want to remember this and also transmit the information to the outside world, because the outside world has been deprived from entering to Tigray and investigating, including the UN. The UN established a commission which is called ICRI. They were not allowed to come to Tigray. That means there is something to hide. What is this? Justice is being hidden. The UN was not allowed to visit Tigray because they want to hide justice. They can't. Impossible.
So good morning. Yeah, I'm a doctor from Italy, and I'm here today in IDP Center in Mekelle with all my groups of colleagues from Italy. Actually, it's my first time here, so I just came into this reality that I know this is hard to understand, but it's really different from the one I'm from. And here today we have patients. We are trying to help. I'm saying trying because sometimes the problems and the main problems with them is to understand what we can prescribe and what we can do in real according to the life we have here, because sometimes medication are really hard to find. As we see, as we think about food, we can imagine about medication. So I think it's a really good experience for us and really, really emotional, because sometimes we cannot really help them. So I hope we can just change their life, maybe just today. And then, of course, we are working together to improve the system. And improve the quality of life of everybody here, not only the patient we are visiting today.
They are all situation given, and they have most of them hereditary problems like atopy, and then contact with insects will give problems. They have injuries, they have koso like always. Probably some will have got HIV, but that I have not told. So it is, you cannot do your job. Apathic people. And there is nothing what can be done at the moment. So it has to be the Tigrian himself, and then with the people who can try to help them, because the world and now is in a shambles. I have no solution. It is, the only thing is, stop making weapons, stop making war, and try to love your neighbor. It is difficult sometimes.